Lining up, that's it. Off and racing for this opening Goffs Aintree sale, sponsored 4yo Maiden, a field of 10, past the post, head out on their first circuit, 3 miles and 15 fences ahead of them, and Little Legend from L'Evangelist on the outside in second. Camberwell is on the inside in third with Cocktail Blue and Wider Silk Cafino. Paddy Policy is next, and they're followed by Rye Bridge. And behind these, Stick With The Process, and it's followed by N17, and held up the early back marker as they climb their way up towards fence number 1 is Fierce Handy. So up they go towards his fence first of 15, Little Legend from L'Evangelist, followed next in the field by Cofino, a good jump into third. Camberwell is on the inside on 4 with Paddy's Policy on the wide outside in 5 as they continue the way uphill, rising all the time towards this next fence, which will be fence number 2, and all over safely. So they continue the way towards the top of the track now, shortly swing the left-handed bend and head across towards fence number 3. Little Legend L'Evangelist follows next in the field in third by Paddy's Policy. Camberwell is on the inside in 4. 5 is Cocktail Blue, and Cofino's next in 6th, and they're followed behind these by Rye Bridge with a break of a length back to N17. 2 lengths back to Stick With The Process, and he's followed by his stablemate, back marker Fierce Handy. They decline for the first time, run downhill into the gap, and then make their way on towards this next fence, which will be fence number 4 in this opening sponsored Goffs Aintree sale, 4yo Maiden, and it is Little Legend in front from L'Evangelist, good jump. So L'Evangelist from Paddy's Policy and Little Legend drops back to 3. Camberwell is in 4, and they're followed next in 5, Cocktail Blue. They're followed next by Cofino, who's in 6th, with him behind these as they continue to decline is Rye Bridge in the red silks. There's a break of a length and a half back to N17, who's 2 clear of the back pair, the 2 JP McManus runners, Stick With The Process and Fierce Handy. They make their way down towards the home bend for the first time, shortly going to swing the bend, and then they'll begin to rise uphill again and make their way on towards the next fence to jump, which will be fence number 5 in this opening Goffs Aintree sale. Division 1 of the 4-year-olds, and as they come to it, L'Evangelist and Paddy's Policy. Paddy's Policy, quicker jump, L'Evangelist in 2nd, followed next by Cocktail Blue and Little Legend in 4. Camberwell is next in 5, and on his outside Mexican strides in 6 is Cofino. Rye Bridge is next in 7th, and they're followed by N17, Stick With The Process and Fierce Handy. They swing the bend and make their way into the back straight for their second time, continue to rise uphill, this time making their way up towards fences number 6 and 7. Paddy's Policy in front has an advantage now of a length from on his inside L'Evangelist, followed next on the outside and third by Cocktail Blue. These are 3 or 4 lengths clear of Cofino and Little Legend with Camberwell and Rye Bridge, and they're followed by N17, Stick With The Process and Fierce Handy. Fence number 7, and already over safely, it is Paddy's Policy. Begin to stretch out this field now. Paddy's Policy has gone on here by 2.5-3 lengths from L'Evangelist in 2nd. They're followed by Cocktail Blue in 3rd, Little Legend, Cofino, Camberwell and Rye Bridge. They're followed a length and a half further back by N17, who's 2 clear of Stick With The Process, who's a length in front of the back marker of the 10, which is Fierce Handy. Fence number 8, Paddy's Policy has them stretched out now, almost in single file, as they begin their decline downhill again now, running on downhill towards the next fence to jump, which will be fence number 9. Paddy's Policy from L'Evangelist and Little Legend. Cocktail Blue on the outside in 4. They're followed next by Camberwell, Cofino, and they're following behind these as they come down by Rye Bridge with N17, still the back pair, the McManus runners, Stick With The Process and a Fierce Handy. Continue to decline downhill, making their way towards the home bin for their second time. And as they run downhill, Paddy's Policy, L'Evangelist, followed next in the field in 3rd on the inside by Little Legend, Cocktail Blue, Camberwell, Cofino and Rye Bridge, and they're following behind these as they run downhill by the N17, who in turn is followed by the back pair, Stick With The Process and Fierce Handy. Begin to tighten up on the run downhill. Begin to stack up now as they continue the way on towards this next fence, which should be fence number 10 in this opening Goffs Aintree sale, sponsored 4yo Maiden, and over in front, good jump by Paddy's Policy. Leads now by the best part of a length and a half from L'Evangelist, who is in 2nd, Little Legend, Cocktail Blue. Camberwell gets closer, and they're followed by Rye Bridge, Cofino, N17, Stick With The Process, and Fierce Handy. About 12 lengths cover the 10 as they continue their way up the back straight now. Begin to up the tempo as they rise uphill towards the fences it's going to be 5 in the finish. Paddy's Policy from L'Evangelist, followed next in the field by Cocktail Blue, Little Legend, Camberwell between horses is in 5, Cafino's next in 6 with Roy Bridge on the inside, Event 17, Stick with the Process and Fierce Handy. Over that fence now, and uphill they continue towards this one. There's going to be 4 out and in front, stretching on even a bit further clear as Paddy's Policy. Over safely from the Evangelist, who is in 2nd. Cocktail Blue is next with Roy Bridge getting an inside run with Little Legend. As they continue the way across the top of the track now, Paddy's Policy from Little Legend and Evangelist 2nd and 3rd. They're followed next by Cocktail Blue. Camberwell goes well between horses in 5. They're followed by Roy Bridge with Cafino and N17 still weighted with the McManus pair in rear. Mistake there by Cafino. Lost a bit of ground now when back in 7th, but they continue the way downhill now, and it's Paddy's Policy from Evangelist on the outside. Little Legend, Camberwell coming in there in 4, making rapid ground through the field, and eye-catching is N17 as they continue the way down towards the 2nd as Paddy's Policy, Evangelist, Cocktail Blue on the outside. They're followed next now in the field, back in 4th by Camberwell. Little Legend, N17 is still not done with Roy Bridge, and they're followed next in behind these as they run downhill by Fierce Handy. And Stick with the Process, weakening out of it as they run downhill as Cafino, but downhill towards the home bend and in front. It is L'Evangelist from on the inside, Paddy's Policy next in between horses now. It is Cocktail Blue, Camberwell on the outside coming to challenge N17 and Little Legend on the inside. They're tightly bunched after a home bend, but L'Evangelist has the advantage and runs down towards the last with a lead. But on the outside trying to throw down a challenge, it is Camberwell and a faller there at the last one out of it, but up towards the line. It is L'Evangelist pushed out for James Murphy. It's a good week for Team Murphy. He punches the air. 2nd 4yo Maiden of the week. They were followed by Paddy's Policy in 2nd. Judges will confirm. Little Legend N17, 3rd and 4th, followed by Camberwell in 5th. They were followed by Fierce Handy, Roy Bridge, and the final finisher was Stick with the Process. I'm glad to report Cocktail Blue up safe. Mikey Sweeney's up okay.